Mont Marte Mixed Media set that we've got. It's very popular product in the studio because it has a little bit of everything for you. So I'll just open that up and show you what it's got in there. We've got mixed media pad here, which is where I'm going to do my final piece. I'm going to use my just a random sketchbook to do the ideas for it. And then we've got a couple of bits and pieces here. We've got some pencils here. So we've got a HB, a 2B, a 4B, and a 6B. Does anyone know about the different types of pencils? Perhaps I'll show you. So, for example, the HB, these are the kind of pencils that you would have at school. They're just, normal, not too soft, not too hard, in between pencil. That's the HB. Now, the further you go into B, the softer they get. If you go into H's, they're harder. And usually the H's are used for more sort of technical drawing, and like if you're using a ruler and measuring and you need lines to be super crisp. The B's are more for illustrating. So here's, I don't know if you can see, that's a little bit softer and like slightly darker too. And now this is the 4B. You can see it gets softer and darker as you go. I'm putting the same amount of pressure on these. So that gives you a bit of an idea of that. So if you're doing a sketch and you want to paint over it, I like to use the HB because it's sort of quite soft and you can just cover those lines quite easily with any of your like if you're using pencil or paint or whatever it may be, it's a lot easier to cover. Whereas the same thing in a 6B, it's quite, there's a lot more, lots more pigment that goes on there. A lot more of the graphite comes out of the pencil. You can, obviously, it's really good for sketching and shading, like with a pencil, because it's really easy to blend. So that's really cool. We've got a white missing here. I think that's probably Erica might be the culprit for that one. That's okay. We've got a sharpener here to go with the pencils. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 basic colours here. I'll just choose this one to show you what it's like to draw with them. They're quite nice. You can see the toothy paper through it. Nice rich colours there. So you get those, and then you get a couple of these oil pastels, which they're really nice colours. This one in particular, look how cool that colour is. That's going to be really fun. So yeah, that's getting some, and you can use your finger to sort of smooth it down too with the oil pastels. So that's pretty cool. Nice colours that they come in. And then over here you've got, maybe I'll show you the whole lot. So you've got a couple of paintbrushes here. You've got a round brush and a flat brush. These need to be washed in water first before we use them because they've got sort of stiffening, like the bristles are quite stiff just for storage purposes. So that's really handy to have one of each of those. And then I've got no nails, so I can't get this out. We've got this little nifty little fella. That's a brush there, and what you do is you undo, hang on, I'll put the lid back on, it'll be easier to do. So you unscrew this. Am I doing it the right way? Hang on. Ooh, bit tricky. Might need to get mum or dad to help with this one. Oh, I was doing it the wrong way. I was doing it this way, but you actually have to unscrew it that way. So I've wrenched it quite hard and it's still fine. So you fill this bit with water and then you turn, whoops, it's the opposite. So lefty loosey, righty tighty, it's the opposite to that. But once you've got water in here, the water drips through and out into the brush. and then you use your watercolour with that one. So these are a bit of everything. They are, let me just see if I can pop these out. I don't recommend doing this, but just to show you, I'll just pop one out. I'll just lift it up. So you can see that these are sort of cakey, but they're quite soft. Like, I don't know if you can see, I'm sort of able to wipe it off. So they're quite pigmented. They're sort of like if you had a watercolor tube, squeezed it out and let it dry. Like, they're not really traditional cake. Like, they're not chalky. So that's really good. And then my fave, obviously, the acrylic paints. So we use Mont Marte in the studio. We use it for adults and kids. We love it. It's a really easy paint to work with. It's really easy to build it up. And it also can take adding a little bit of water to making it a little bit more transparent. I can't talk enough how good these paints are. We also have an option of the satin paints for Mont Marte, which they also have a really nice texture, but the difference is that they're a bit more colour fast, so they hold the colour a lot longer in your paintings. But if you're sealing it, then you probably don't need to worry too much about that. I've been painting using Mont Marte for, quite a few years now, and none of my paintings have faded, so I don't worry too much about that. But it is good to see your paintings. So yeah, so then we've got these fine liners. So 4 colours, well, black's a shade and 3 colours, blue, yellow and red. So one side you've got like quite a thin, I don't know what point that would be. No, but anyway, quite thin, you can see there. And then the other side you've got like a bullet tip. Can you see that? Sort of a bullet tip, so you can use it that way or that way. So that's pretty cool to have the option of the 4 colours. Just to give you a bit of an example, I'll show you what the blue one looks like. You can get like a full set of colours of all of these. This is just a little taste test of everything. The range is quite extensive, but yeah, I like this pack as a starter, because it's got a bit of everything. We've made our own little starter packs as well, but this is a good one that we use personally. So this is a dual tip art marker. So this one, I believe the difference between these two is this is just like a normal marker. So for example, if you go over the top, you can sort of see the lines through it. See how you can sort of and see how it's like pulling the paper. Whereas this one, if I've got it right, is it's got the same thing. So it's got like a fine line, and it's got a chisel. This one's got a chisel tip instead of a bullet tip that you can use to colour. So I think the idea is that this one, when you overlap, it sort of blends a little bit better. See that? See how it's sort of blending, and it's also not picking up. It's not picking up the page. I'll do diagonal because I've done that on the other one. See how it's sort of just getting darker? So these are like entry level. You can get really expensive markers that do this, but see the difference there. So that comes in a few different colors. You've got that one, you've got the brown. I might swatch all these for you just so you can see. This looks like white. Let's go with that. Yeah, that's just white, but how do you use it? Let's try and put it on this green and see. Oh, okay, that lines it up. How cool is that? Can you see that in the camera? I don't know if you can see that. That lightens the color, and it's not getting on the tip at all. Wow, Colorless blender. I should have read on that before I told you what it was. Okay, cool. So that's a blender. So let's try. We'll try 2 colors and we'll blend them together. So this is the pink again. Like, I'm obviously not taking any. Whoa, that looks amazing. Gosh, Stacey would love that. All right, let's blend it with. Let's just go for it. Now these are pretty like different colors. Whoa. I wonder if this is what it means. Let's see. I need to do probably a little bit more research about this. Maybe then we put a bit of this pink into here. Yeah, I mean, I guess I probably need to. Oh, look how it's going lighter. So I probably need to do that bit on that side. Anyway, this would be fun to experiment with. I need to do a little bit more. I need to play a little bit more with these. But oh my goodness, look at that. That is delicious. How good. This would be awesome for like a background. See how that's like blending it together? Like you can't hardly see the lines in it. I mean, you can, but not like this. That's so good. Okay. So again, with these, you can get like a whole, what am I trying to say? You can get a whole pack of these. Like you can get, I think they come in like, I don't know how many colors, heaps and heaps of colors, but that's them. So yeah, so fantastic pack for just having a play. This one's got 10 sheets in it. So I liked it. It's just a mixed media pad. It means you can use it. Mixed media just means that you can use it with pencils, paints, everything. It's quite thick. That's one page. I don't know if you can see. Like it's very cardboardy. What's the GSM? If that means anything to anyone, 300 GSM. So it's like pretty much cardboard. So this would be like my final piece. Like if you're making a card for someone or if you wanted to like stick it up somewhere or put it in a frame, that's what I'd use for my final piece. Whereas this, you can see this is just for practicing. So this is just a normal sketchbook you can get anywhere. And that'd be about, that's probably 100 GSM. I know about GSM because as a graphic designer, we used to have to choose the paper and the thickness that we printed on. So you can see it's a bit different. Anyway, so it's got that in there. I've got all these in here. I have to put it back. Look at me. I have to put it back in color order because that is who I am. She's a bit crazy like that. Now, should I put the brown there and then the orange? I think the brown has, whoa. We're about it today, aren't we? Is this orange? Oh, yeah, okay, so here you go. We've got the numbers on them. Again, look what reading does to you. So we've got all the letters and numbers and the codes. So I'd say that's violet 1, green 4, pink 4, orange 4, blue 2, and what do you reckon E is? Earth? Earth 5. I'm just making that up. I'll look into it. I'll put it in the comments. But yeah, really fantastic intro pack. I'm pretty sure it's $40, like $39.95. And we have them in the studio. We can send them out to you. Just gives you a little bit of everything. And the colors are nice. They're happy colors. You can use this to mix. There's no like palette to mix, but I guess you could use, if you wanted to, you could use this bit here. But I wouldn't because then it'll be messy. Like you could even use this. But I just use paper plates. We just use paper plates in the studio. So if you've got a packet of paper plates or like if you want to be a little bit better, which would be good if we're all a bit better. You could just use, like, I've just happened to have some plastic containers just here. So you could just use, this one's still in, like, still going strong. This has got a bottom. Sometimes the lids don't have bottoms. So ask mum or dad or nan if they've got a spare lid without a bottom, and you can use that. And basically when the paint dries, when the acrylic paint dries on here, just leave it somewhere tidy like this, and that the air will dry it, and then you can just peel it off, and it's so satisfying. It's so satisfying to peel it. So anyway, back to this. I'm going to try and, what colors do I like to go with? Let's go brown, orange, green, blue, purple, pink. Why? I don't know. That's just how I felt today. So I've got to ask Erica where she put that white one. That's a bit of a problem for me. The thing I will say is I love to mix my colors, and I use a lot of white. So we also sell these, but these are 12 mil, and we sell a white that I think is 75 mil. So it's good to get that extra white. I'm trying to find one here. I don't think I've got one here with me. They're in the studio. So maybe I'll put that in the comments as well. So if it were me and I was starting out, or I was looking for a little something for a prezi, kid or adult, like these are perfectly fine for adults. Like, it's not, like, perfectly fine for kids and perfectly fine for adults. Like for $39.95, this is massive value. Like, so good. So yeah, so this is, I'll show you how to use all of these maybe. Maybe I'll do a little project on everything, using every little piece of here. Oh, I didn't tell you, you get a little eraser too, which is always handy. Kids love erasers. I try not to use an eraser. I just go to the next page. But because I feel like even if the sketch is, let's call it wrong, it's still like a development. Like, I can still look back. But if I feel like I've done a sketch wrong, I just go to the next page. But this would be handy if you were doing it like on your finished piece. I need some scissors for this. I've got no nails. But anyway, this gives you a bit of an idea of what you can get in a pack, and it's an intro pack, but it's still really great. Like, as I said, these paints, we use them in the studio. Stace uses these watercolors with the kids and the adults. We've used them with adults as well. So these oil pastels are awesome colors, like not just primary colors. They're quite nice. You can do some really nice stuff for this. So maybe I'll do an example of like some kids versions of things and some adults versions of things. Like adults being like landscapes and florals and things that adults are a bit more into, and kids being like animals and cute stuff, ice cream and stuff like that. Yeah, so maybe what we'll do is link the rest of you. If you've subscribed to my YouTube channel, you will see all of these, but yeah, maybe we'll link them down below as well. So yeah, I have to find that white. Where did Erica put it? But yeah, awesome value, really good. 60-piece mixed media set, and we have them in the studio at the moment for $39.95, and in my opinion, that's an excellent price.